Welcome back to Alpine Garage Sports, folks. Wow, what a last 4 months we have had. And we just wrapped up the spring game. This is Sunday that I'm bringing this to you here. I'm gonna pop it up and see if I can get it to you pretty quick. There's just so much content for me to bring you. And I would say that my goals for going to the spring game this year were completely met because I had such a great time with my family and the people that I met this year. I just made this day, and I'll go into that in the next video. Right now, I wanted to talk about Charlie Offerdahl because this is the Charlie Offerdahl channel, apparently. So I know there's going to be, I know a few of you, and I can write the names on the board here who are going to roast me in the comments, but you know what? I don't care. I just don't care. We had such a great show out of players today. Shedeur looked like a stud that he is, and was just scoring touchdown after touchdown. And we had the headliners like Travis Hunter, who looked like he was in mid-season form. We knew that was going to happen. I mean, he's just an all-star. But on the other hand, we had some other players that are either new as recruits or from last year's team, and even some transfers that really looked really good. And we'll go into that in another video as well, but like Hankerson, holy mackerel, Hankerson just, this was his day. And I'm not taking anything away from Dylan Edwards because Dylan Edwards had like a couple of breakout runs, just looked awesome. But Hankerson being here from last year's team is just, it's a symphony to see these guys show out so much in this game from last year's team. For all the people who said the 1-11 players were junk, I want to tell you that not all of them were bad. Hankerson is one of those guys that just looked like he was just awesome yesterday. And Montana Lemonius Craig, you know, last year's team, you know, he was a 1-11 receiver, guys, but did you see him in the spring game this year? No one's saying that about Montana because he is a great player. You have to remember that sometimes you're in circumstances that you can't control, and you might be a great player in a bad scheme, or it just might not be your time as a team to shine. And Montana was one of those guys, but I think he was the player of the day, and I'm not the only one. I mean, look at everybody else that's out there on Twitter. I mean, several guys that have been following CU since the dawn of man pointed out Montana and Hankerson as all-stars in today's game. One of the missing pieces, though, for me and for a lot of people that were sitting around me was, where was Offerdahl? Saw him on the spring roster that Chris Fowler had put out, and we were looking for number 44, and it just, he didn't appear. And then the game went on and on and on and on, and he didn't show. And the reason why I bring that up is because last year's spring game was kind of a show out for Charlie. Charlie had a great game in that spring game last year, and nobody saw it because it wasn't, you know, mainstream televised, and a lot of you may not have even seen it from last year. That's kind of where this whole Offerdahl thing came from. Is he was a walk-on. He really kind of blew it out in the spring game last year. And then in last year's games, although he didn't play in many, he was able to pull together a CU walk-on rushing record for a year. So, and also for a game. So where was Offer? I like, when I was going, I have a 44 jersey, but I didn't wear it. But he didn't show, and he didn't show, and he didn't show. I think I even went live on it at one point saying, you know, where is Charlie? Is he wearing 33, 34? Looking from where I was, because I was on the practice field trying to get autographs from the CU legends. And I didn't get front row seats like I probably should have tried to. But at the same time, I couldn't see that far down in there. But Charlie emailed me after he saw that video, that live video. He emailed me and he gave me a little bit of an update. I was fearing that he was injured, and of course, that was the case. He had gotten injured in Monday's practice the week previous to the spring game, and he was not able to suit up for the games. He didn't really give me any details about his injury, but in the email, he was as classy as he always is. And he basically stated, hey, I'm sorry, I couldn't play, I was injured. Obviously, I think at this point, we're still gonna see great things from Charlie. He just wasn't able to use this as a stage. Knowing that channels like DNVR had kind of called him out as someone that could possibly be a standout in the spring game. And of course, this channel and many other channels that have really kind of picked up on Offerdahl's cadence, and knowing that he's gonna do special things for us. He is a part of this team from last year that kind of keeps that Colorado core going and helps with the transfers that are coming in and the new recruits that are coming in. to make a super team. And for a CU Buff fan, it is symphonies to our ears to see all of the different pieces on the field coming together in the spring game to create the atmosphere that we had. I honestly, at this point, guys, I can tell you, I have not had as much fun at any single game that I can remember in recent memory than I did at this game. And that includes every game, pro games, everything. There's something special about this year that cannot be spelled out in a video. So, Charlie, I know there's a lot of people behind you, had a lot of people in the comments asking about you, had a lot of people in the stands that were also talking about, you know, where's Offerdahl. So there's a lot of support behind you. There's a lot of support behind the CU Buffs team. And just know that everyone here is pulling for the Buffs and pulling for you, Charlie. And we want to see you guys have a great off season and then get back to fall ball and put together a team that we can go and smack down USC and Nebraska. And there's a whole bunch of other ones in there, but for me, it's USC and Nebraska. I want to see those two things explode. And if we can do that, that's going to be awesome. That's a wrap from Alpine Garage Sports. Charlie, we wish you all the best. And for the CU team for the spring game, you guys did marvelous. We love every one of you. And